Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Stacy and this is the For Bricks and Giggles YouTube channel. For today's video, I have a special guest. My brother Christopher is back on the channel. We're gonna do a little building and talking about all things Lego. It's been a while since I've had him on and I'm super excited. So let's get started. All right, so here we have my brother Christopher. He's
back. Hi everyone, long time no see.
Yes, maybe about a year and a half. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But people have been, I still get comments on the video you were in, and people on Instagram ask me all the time where you've been. So where have you been?
Well, I'm here, as you can tell from the last time I was here. I'm in a different, as you well know, I'm in a different house. So we have a whole new background, even on top of,
Got the multi-screen setup, the headset. You're ready to go.
I would say there are 3 other monitors you can't see that are all just revolving. So we got 5 in total. We're ready for anything.
And what are you building today?
So today I'm building, I was going to put him together so you can see, but I'm actually going to do Jabba the Hutt's palace from 2003. So the original palace. So technically I'm building 3 sets because it comes with his palace and then the 2 little side, like 40-piece side sets.
Gotcha.
So the original Jabba's palace from 2003. What about you?
We actually got that part of that at a yard sale one time. Do you remember that?
Yeah, because you did, right?
When we were in North Carolina or something with relatives, I still have some of the minifigures. I don't know. It was incomplete, but I found some of the minifigures not too long ago. So
yeah, I feel like you have like all of the, like you had all like the funny red guy, Jabba.
I'll have to check. I didn't see Jabba in there, but maybe that bucket has got so much miscellaneous stuff. He could be in there somewhere.
He's hard to miss. So I think you'll know if you have him.
Yeah. I am building an adventurer set.
Very good.
5978. I have the worst time saying the name of the set though. Sphinx Secret Surprise.
You have to be careful how you say that too, so
exactly.
that works out. That's awesome. I've got that one actually built on. I've still got it built sitting on one of my shelves in there.
Oh really? Oh yeah, you did go back and build a lot of the adventurer sets.
Yeah, I've built probably 8 or 9 of them, but between Orient Expedition and the adventurers.
Yeah, I want to get more of the Orient Expedition sets. I have the 2 you gave me for Christmas that a couple years ago, I guess. But I'm like, I keep adding them to my carts. Like I'll be looking up on eBay or whatever, and I add them to the cart, and then I never actually buy them.
I can't remember which ones I gave you.
They're the 2 of the tiniest ones.
The one with the skeleton.
Yeah, and then I can't think of the name of the other one, but it's like a medium-sized set, and it's got one of those large figures. It's not the tiger one. It's the other one.
It's that red guy, right?
Yeah, it's not. There's the Yeti one too, so it's not that one.
I don't even know what he is. I don't even know what that red guy is. Like, what is he? I don't know what he's supposed to be, but he's cool.
Yeah, I have the tiger one is actually pretty inexpensive, which is surprising as far as adventurer sets go. I mean, it still goes for like between $10 and $20, which I think is what it was originally.
Oh my God. Yeah, I think it was a $10 set, and it has like really good play features because I mean, not only do you get like the big tiger, but it's got the thing where you pull out and like all the little, it'd be like, all the wood planks all fall out as you're approaching the treasure. Like it's really cool. It's a really nifty play feature.
Yes, very nifty. I wish Adventurers had won the anniversary set. Like I understand that it didn't, but I would have loved if it had won the anniversary set because I just love Adventurers.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think between like having the original Adventurers and then them coming back to do Orient Expedition, I think that has to be like my favorite theme. It's just there was just so much to it.
Yeah, I am excited though that they're doing that gigantic castle or supposedly rumored doing the gigantic castle for the anniversary set.
I'll be curious to see like how big, like physically big it is. I know it's supposed to be, X amount of thousand of pieces.
Right.
But you know, based on kind of the build styles of today, what that will actually equate to.
Yeah, a lot of pieces.
What's that?
A lot of tiny pieces.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like if it's, you know, 4,000 pieces, but it's, you know, it's obviously gonna be well detailed, and I can appreciate that as much as anyone. But
Right.
you know, when you're thinking of castle, I'm thinking of, you know, a big monstrosity.
Yes. I hope they bring back some classic castle pieces, like the panel pieces with the little window cut out. Like
Yeah.
those, you know, like obviously update it, make it, you know, new for this era, but bring in some classic elements. That would be really nice.
I would say I like how they did with that creator castle that you just got when you were at the Lego store.
Yeah.
That they brought back. What was the people, like the minifigures? What because those were from an old castle series.
Oh, yeah, the Black Falcons.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I like when they kind of pay homage to, you know, to the older series. They do that. And I've noticed in the Ninjago sets that the Ninjago sets that I remember on one of like the city sets they referenced like the extreme stunts, and there was a couple others. There was like a couple of like really old series. I just like when they kind of drop those little Easter eggs in there.
Yes, that is my favorite. If there was another anniversary set, you could like, if you could take an old set and have them redo it and make it like a massive anniversary set, or, you know, an Ultimate Collector Series set from, you know, your childhood or whenever, what set would you want them to do?
That's a good question. I don't know. Honestly, I think it'd be really cool to see like an Ultimate Collector series of like Fort Legorado, like, you know, Wild West, just like even more, which is already a big set because it's on, you know, 4 individual base plates. But if you just like maximized it and did, you know, 8 or, you know, just something just like, you know, super crazy, I think that'd be cool to see in even bigger fashion. I mean, we haven't really seen much of anything out of like the Western series since
2002.
Well, you know, yes, so they did that, but then there was some movie. It was what was the Johnny Depp movie?
Oh, the Lone Ranger stuff?
Yeah, the Lone Ranger was like the closest thing. You know, I mean, it is Western, but that's like that's the only taste of anything Western that we've seen since they did the original Western ones.
I missed out on a lot of those. I really wish I had bought the carriage set from that series. I really liked that one. That was really cool.
Didn't you give me that?
You know, I do tend to give you the sets I like, so that would make sense.
You physically had it in your possession.
I've been doing that since I was a kid. I'm like, oh, I like this set. Let me give it to Christopher.
Because you know he'll enjoy it too.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. No, because like you're saying it, and I'm like, you definitely, unless you're talking about a different one, I'm like, you definitely gave me that one.
This was from the Lone. I think are you talking about the Wild West with the little covered wagon?
Yeah.
There was a Lone Ranger set that had like, it was like a larger kind of almost like a carriage instead of a wagon, I guess. But it came with like this fancy lady that came in a dress and like a hat and all this stuff. So yeah, I did give you the wagon set. That set is so expensive for no reason.
Which one? The Wild West or the Lone Ranger?
Both, but the little Wild West one that's like 17 pieces. So expensive.
I say probably get that new on BrickLink. It's probably like $100 at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I found it on some app at some point. That's the only reason I bought it was at a good deal.
Yeah. So. That's how you have to get some of these like the really old sets. Is it's just like you have to be at the right place at the right time. Find someone who, you know, has, you know, maybe has had it in the attic, whatever. Like basically they have no idea really what Lego is. It's just like it's just been sitting in a tote somewhere, and you know they're cleaning out their kids' stuff for, you know, they're going to college or something, and you reap, you know, the benefit of their lack of knowledge essentially.
Yeah, I mean you hate to do, but I mean a lot of my best sets have been that, and like I'll buy it 3 minutes after it was listed. You know, like you have to be there the second it's listed and then hope that they don't cancel it when they find out that they could have gotten more for it.
I'd say that's what I hate. That's what I kind of don't like about eBay anymore. Is it was like when we were kids, you know, looking for stuff. Like, and nowadays you can set like alerts for certain things, and there's so many different ways to learn that stuff has been listed versus, you know, back in my day, you know, you just literally just went and looked it up. But now it's like the competition is much harder to get stuff.
The hours spent on eBay as a kid. So, I mean, like I wouldn't play games on the computer. I just get on and search Lego sets on the internet for hours.
Yeah, and back then we were just trying to find, like, you know, we would find things that we had never even heard of, you know, because we didn't even know about like Piron at that point. It was more of just like
looking about to say that.
Yeah, it was just like trying to find sets that we didn't have, you know, we would have been too young, you know, either not born or, you know, too young to have gotten them.
Right.
But then it got to the point, it's like we knew what we were looking for, and it was just you know, doing everything you can to try to actually get it.
Man, I went on Piron this week. I had not been on in years, but something made me think about it, and I was like, I want to see if I don't think they update it anymore. Like if you try to look up a new set, it's not on there. I think they stopped updating the site, at least from what the stuff I was searching for, but it's still there. It was very nostalgic to go back and look at Piron, because we would like try and make sets based on the pieces we had.
Yeah.
You know, you'd go look at the part list and then try and build it as close as you could with whatever bucket of random Lego we had. So
it was truly ahead of its time.
Yes.
But yeah, no, they definitely don't update it anymore, because the last time I was on there, it was like any set prior to like 2013, I couldn't find. Like you could only find stuff prior to 2013. Like anything after that, there maybe was only a handful, and then it was just at the point where it's like there was nothing. So anything that's like remotely new, you know. So I mean, at this point, since Lego started adding all the instructions, you know, the combination of that and BrickLink to, you know, to look for the pieces in each set, the combination of those two pretty much replaced that.
I know, it's sad.
Well, yeah, like you said, it was like a big part of our childhood was just, you know, using it to either look at, you know, the sets in a theme, or, you know, look up just a set in particular to try to find the pieces that went with it. But I guess maybe it wasn't lucrative for the people that ran it anymore. You know, they weren't getting money off ads, so they were just like, done with this now.
Yeah, I think if they did a ultimate collectors, either the ancient Amazon ruins or the Pharaoh's. What is it? Pharaoh's ruin.
Something of ruins. Pharaoh's ruin everything, or I don't know. Pharaoh's.
Yeah, the names are so close. I always mix them up.
I can't think of what it is. Pharaoh's. Yeah. I could just lean up here and type and ask Google, but I'd rather just babble endlessly until it comes to me.
I think a monster set of that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think it definitely would. I know one of the what series is it? Is it Monkey Kid? I think it's Monkey Kid. They have some set that just like as soon as I first saw it, it reminded me of it. It's not supposed to be in its likeness or anything. It's like $170 or something.
Oh wow.
But it had like a waterfall, and just the way it looked just kind of reminded me of the ancient ruins. Now, if I actually saw it side by side, you would say there's no resemblance at all. But no, I think any of those in an upscaled form, which they're already big sets as it is.
They were big at the time for sure.
I'll say I remember when I got the ancient, not the ancient ruins, the Pharaoh's whatever. Forbidden to yeah, that's what it is. Forbidden Ruins.
Yeah.
The front of that set is heavy. Like there's like a bunch of, you know, it's a bunch of like lurgs and those slanted whatever pieces. I remember after I finished building, I picked it up and I could not believe how heavy it was. I was like, I didn't know plastic could add up to, you know, like.
Yeah, it's like 800 or 900 pieces, I'm pretty sure, which is a massive set for them. I mean, that's from like 98 or something. So yeah, that's a huge set for a 90s set.
well, say you it's 900 pieces plus with how many of them were so big. Like you had two base plates, or two of the 16 by 32s, and then or yeah, it was two of the six. Was it two or three of the 16 by 32s? It was two, because there was the main front, and then there's the back.
Yeah. But you also get like a couple of vehicles with it too. There's like isn't the hot air balloon in that set? Yeah. So yeah, it definitely adds up.
Yeah, I mean, it had like 8 or 9 people. You had the several vehicles. Yeah, that one was still is gigantic, like even by today's standards.
That's another one that I was like, I'm never gonna get this set. Like, I just didn't think it would happen. And then I found it actually incomplete, but it was such a good deal that it was like still worth buying so that I could complete it. And I'm so glad, because now it's like $300 if you want it.
I can't remember when or like how much I paid for it. Like it was a reasonable deal, but I'm sure I banked money from like mom and dad giving me birthday money. Yeah, I mean, that's typically what I do. Is if there's something like a really big one, I you bank it up. Add $100. In your mind, you subtract $100, out of whatever the cost is, and it makes it much more reasonable to only pay for part of it versus you see like $200 and you shiver.
Right. I know you did one year for your birthday. You bought a whole bunch of that series. Was that one of them?
Yeah. Yes. Because I did that. I did the one that you're building right now. It was like 4 or 5 sets, because one was it had a plane, or like a plane. And I think it was 4, or maybe there was a small 5th one. I forgot that I actually did all those together.
Which makes it better too.
I think maybe they were selling them all together, and that's why I did it, because I don't think I would have just decided to just add it on, continued looking after I found the one. That they must have all been sold together.
I think so. I think it was a group lot.
Yeah, and they were in really good shape. But you could even tell from the pictures that that they would. That's the other part, is like sometimes you can find the set, but if they're in crap condition, it's like sometimes there's only so much you can do to rehabilitate the pieces.
Yeah, I know. I just bought a Belleville set that I've been looking for forever, and it was in pretty good condition, except for like the little skirt piece that one of the figures wear. And so I was like, that's fine. I'll just buy another one and replace it. And I just got it in the mail, and it was in worse condition than the one was that I bought previously. And I was so irritated. Like, I haven't contacted the seller about it, but I was like, it was literally falling apart. And I'm like, I only bought from the seller on BrickLink so that I could get this one piece. I bought other stuff from them because I was already, paying for shipping, but I'm like, it's so rude to sell crap like that when it's in terrible shape. And like, if I sell something that's in poor condition, I always either take a photo of it or write it in the description. And I only do that with like super rare pieces that I'm like, someone might still want this. But it was $3.75 for this little skirt that's completely unusable. Plus I had to pay to ship it. So it's like,
you had to pay to ship it back to them?
No, I haven't contacted them to tell know that I'm always afraid they're going to be vindictive with the feedback, like they're going to leave me poor feedback because I was upset about something. So most of the time I just take the loss on it. But I'm like, come on, it's not that hard to either write a little note that says, hey, this thing is a piece of junk nobody would want, or like take a picture of it and upload the picture and say, this is what it looks like. I could message them and say I was disappointed with the piece. I'm just afraid. I hate doing that. So I usually just like, okay, I'll lose the $7 it cost me, and nobody gets negative feedback, and I'll just go buy it again. The only problem is there's only one other person selling it in the whole United States. And they say on theirs, they actually put on theirs, which is why I didn't buy it, it's not in good shape. So I'm like, I bought from this person because theirs didn't say there was anything wrong with it. So
so instead of them being honest, they just
they got the money.
They just lied.
Yep. So
No,
that's
I'm the same way. It's like if I go to I go get fast food or something, and they leave out part of the meal. I feel
Mhm.
bad like even asking for like they're
You
gonna get
know, you
mad at me
paid for it.
yeah, but it's like okay, I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I don't want to cause any issues, but you
Yeah,
forgot my fries or something.
exactly.
No, that's really frustrating. Especially it'd be one thing if there was more supply and it was just like okay, this was just a bad egg, and you could just try again next time. But with especially as the sets get older and you get further and further away from, you said Belleville, so I'm assuming it's 90s. Um, the further away you get from that
Right.
original release date, there's just less and less available. But eventually, like I said, some a parent's going through a closet and they sell it on eBay. Someone parts it out, or you're the one that finds it. And
Right. Yeah, this one was actually from 2007, but that was the
oh,
next to last year of it, and I don't think they made as much of it during that time because the sets from 2007 are really hard to find.
really?
So yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah, I wonder if it was just like, this is our last series and we sell what we
Right.
sell, and
Then it's done.
yeah, then it's done. It's like, we're not making any more.
Yes. Sad day.
I wonder, do you think they'll ever like reboot? I mean, I know they've done some different like female, oriented, more female oriented sets. Do you think that they'll do anything similar to that again? Or like too many people thought it was a weird, from what you've told me, so many people thought that Belleville was weird, but they lasted for, I mean, how long? Over a decade worth of sets. So
Yeah.
obviously they had to have been selling reasonably well. Like Lego doesn't hold on to stuff for that long if it doesn't sell.
And they go for astronomical money now. Like the the bids that I see is just, and I'm so thankful I have as many of them as I do because they go for such big money now. I'm like, someone's lying because there's no reason that they're this hard to get and this expensive if people don't like them. That math ain't mathin'. So
See
like
yeah,
someone's lying.
that's what's happening is the people that actually want them are saying, yeah, no, these are crap. No, nobody would ever want these.
Yes, exactly.
I feel like I'm missing a piece. That would be very frustrating, but it's certainly possible because whoever put these away sometimes missed having all the pieces that needed to go with the set. That's
That's why
someone being me.
that's why I'm borrowing your sets because then I clean them up, and if any of the parts are in bad condition, I replace them for you, and then I bag them according to section, and I've even bubble wrapped some stuff, and I'm like, you're getting them back in better condition than when you did them too. So it's really, I'm doing a service for you.
Well, I certainly appreciate it. Oh, you know what? I did have the piece. So the me of the past gets a pass.
Yeah, there have been a couple times that I'm like, this piece isn't in there. And then as soon as I get up to go get it and I get back, it's sitting there. And I'm like, how did I miss this?
Yeah, how did I overlook this for 20 minutes?
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. So like, as you know, and for, I guess, for the audience, when I started, when I ran out of space in our house to store
Yeah.
my Legos, I got to the point where I would dust them all, get all the dust off them, find all the pieces, and then bag them up in Ziploc bags. So I did that for years, and then like marking down pieces that I was missing. And this was before, like, I'm sure BrickLink existed, but it wasn't anything like it is today, where you can just go online and find all the pieces that you want. It was much harder to get, like, it wasn't as easily accessible as it is today.
I think we're nervous about use because we had like seen it, but we were like, it wasn't as secure as it is today. Like
Yeah.
now everything's done through PayPal or Stripe, and Lego owns BrickLink now. But back in the early 2000s, we were just like, oh, you're just giving your money to strangers on the internet with no, like because they give you the option to like mail them a check. That was,
Yeah.
I remember that was one of the options, and you're like, oh, I'm never getting this is definitely some sort of scheme to steal my money.
Yeah, it's just that there were no, like, it's not like today where you can just, you go, you do online shopping like it's nothing.
Right.
At the time I would have been doing this, it was still not that we're that old, but it's just like, it just shows how much, can change in a short amount of time.
Right.
But basically what I did was I kept a list together of all the pieces I was missing over the years. And then I would go back through, rebuild the sets one more time and make sure that I hadn't missed pieces. And I still, after doing 2 sweeps of all my sets, still occasionally will find that I missed something. So I guess with me, with like older eyes, I sometimes see things that I didn't through the first, 1 or 2 pass throughs.
Yeah, I still notice that too. Like now I know I would check the arms and the torsos for cracks, and then I'll come back and build the set and I'll notice they're cracked, and I'm like, there's no way I would have missed this. Are they just cracking while sitting there, or did I actually look over that at the time? So
yeah, that's what I wonder, because I've seen that a couple times where I've seen like a cracked torso, and of course, I hold back tears as I see the cracked torso.
yeah.
But it's just like, yeah, it's like how I did that on one of my Arctic sets. There was I don't remember if it was a cracked, I don't remember what it was, or it was the discoloration of some of the white, the white pieces. And it's like, I know I would have seen that when I even though the lighting in our house for like noticing things like that wasn't always the best.
Yeah.
Like I know me, even as a child, well enough would have spotted something as,
Yes.
as glaringly obvious as some of them were.
Yeah. It's hard to multitask.
Well, I can't get I'm trying to get because like this thing opens in the front, but it keeps getting like clipped on this thing, and I'm trying to figure out, what did I do wrong?
I know sometimes when I'm recording these videos, I'll build something wrong, or like I can't find a piece, whatever it is, and then I'll stop it and I'll take apart what I did, figure it out, then take it apart again, and then I'm like, okay, now record, now that I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have to do here. Oh, it has something to do with the stairs. Oh, it's because, okay, there's a brown piece that goes under that. So I'm sitting kind of far away from them. This is not normally how far away I would sit from my computer, because I can't really reach the keyboard. That shows how far away I am.
Yeah.
That's why there was a brown piece that went under the stair piece that I didn't see, which I think somehow, wait, that made it worse. What is wrong with me? This is embarrassing.
I've caught him. He's a fake Lego enthusiast.
Yeah. He's a fraud. He's a great big phony.
When I started, because I started all of this just on like Instagram first. When I started that, I was accused on a regular basis of being paid by like a boyfriend or husband to just pose with the Lego sets. And that was actually one of the reasons I started the YouTube channel, was because I was like, you're going to see me talk about this, and, like I have to build it myself. Like you're going to watch me build this. And it's like, someone was like, this is just basically like a robot. They were like, she never moves. She looks the same in every picture. And I was like, well, if you're doing it right, you should look the same in most of your pictures. Like, you're the same person. So
right.
It would be weird if I looked like a different person in every photo I took.
I was gonna say,
it would be Photoshop or something that I'd be accused of.
yeah, essentially, yeah. You're like one of these Instagram people that, are able to manipulate the pictures to make them look different all the time, or like getting the best angles and all that.
Yeah, people. I've seen where people will take like a photo of them crying, and they can edit it to the point that like they look happy and it's the best day of their life. And I'm like, who came up with this software? Because this is terrifying.
Who came up with that idea? Like, why would you, if you're sad, just be sad?
Yes, don't take a photo.
Yeah, no one wants to see your like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's I guess just because there aren't nearly as many women who enjoy Lego as men do, at least traditionally, that I guess that's why they were, saying you were disingenuous, or, whatever it was that they were saying.
Right.
Little do they know.
I'm meeting a lot more women though, which is really encouraging. Although I'd
like to be doing that too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I mean, I just don't think it was marketed the same way. Now we've had
friends for over a decade now. And so the next generation, there's definitely going to be a lot more girls that are, I feel like adult collectors than there was previously, because they just, I mean, Belleville would put out, 5 to 10 sets a year. Paradisa put out the same amount, if not less. And so those were the two we had until a decade ago. And now Friends puts out 10 new sets a day.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. There's just I think there'll be way more, female AFOLs than there were previously.
Well, I mean, I think that's awesome. There's no reason that like everyone should be able to enjoy them, especially, I see, although I'm not on Instagram with my Lego account, I still get stuff in my normal feed for Lego, and I see, lots of, I don't know who they are necessarily. I see the same one or two people on there, but they've got like their Marvel sets and the Star Wars stuff. So it's, it's not like it's like, oh, you could, girls only buy girl sets. It's
right.
Yeah, girls like
definitely.
Marvel, girls like Star Wars.
Yes. Yeah.
The only thing that people would be correct on in saying, not that you're that you're lying or anything, but when you show offsets like Cloud City, that not all of them necessarily belong to you.
I always make it abundantly clear that you have given me these sets out of the goodness of your heart.
Not given. Let the record show, borrowed.
Tomato, whatever it is.
Yeah.
No, I do. I mean, I'm sure you don't watch every episode that I put out, but I always call it your library of Lego, that I check out a set, and then return it and check out another set. And
yeah, it's like the library. You can't take more until the others have been returned.
Exactly. I always talk about how, like, growing up, we didn't duplicate sets, because at the time, when you're a little kid, you're like, we're all gonna live together forever,
and you say,
so we didn't think we didn't need 2 of all of these sets.
Right.
Or when there's no way Mom and Dad were like, they're definitely going to be more into Lego as adults than they were as children. So we should have definitely doubled up on everything.
And boy, would they have been wrong if they had said that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we were always into it, but like, especially in I guess now that we have adult money too, but like in the last, I don't know, 7 or 8 years, I just feel like it's gotten out of hand. We get way more in the last 7 or 8 years than we did, the decade before that, when we were actually kids.
Well, I mean, I think that's a combination of things, right? I mean, part of it is the adult money, the type of money that lets you have 5 monitors, set up to. Now, half of them are for work, half of them are for play, and then one is shared. But that's neither here nor there. But it's a combination of that, and then, like I said, being able to get stuff more easily on, things like eBay, BrickLink. There's more avenues, or more easily accessible avenues, to get some of these. I still get more newer sets, but that's because you have to spend more to get some of the older sets. So it's, you find stuff on Walmart clearances that's how I get most of the ones that I get that are new. It's either that or Christmas. Because like some of the sets that I got at God, I can't believe it's almost been a year ago. It was about, I guess it was late summer when they did their clearance, and I went and hit all of the Walmarts in the area. If the sets were almost 50% off when I got most of them, so you're essentially doubling. If you were originally going to buy a $60 set and you paid $30 for it, instead of getting 2 $60 sets for $120, you get 2 60 sets for $60. That math checks out, I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. But so you end up, you can literally double your collection that quickly just by finding deals.
Right. Have you bought any older sets recently, or has it all been newer stuff?
No, I think the last old set I would have bought actually probably would have been my birthday set from last year. The Hydronauts, what's that thing called? The crystallization station, which for anyone out there that has that set, you can attest to that being like a top 10 greatest set of all time. It was one that, like, in the pictures, that I was like, this thing looks really cool, and I hope that it holds up. And it like blew my expectations when I actually got it in person. I couldn't believe. I just yeah. So it's a super cool set, and that was one I never thought I was gonna get.
Yeah.
But like I said, when you have that extra birthday money, that makes the price tag a little bit easier to swallow.
Definitely. Yeah, the Neptune Discovery Lab.
Yeah.
I have vivid memory of bidding on that on eBay, and it was ending at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. And I'm laying in bed, like wide awake, because at that, I don't think I was in like middle school or maybe even early high school. Whatever it was, I wasn't allowed to be, up on the computer at that time.
Yeah.
And I couldn't up my bid or anything. So I'm just laying there going, I'm never going to sleep tonight. Because I don't know if I'm going to get it. And Mom came into the room and was like, you got it. And I was like, okay, now I'm never going to go to sleep tonight because now I know I got it. Do you think it's on the porch yet? Because I'm ready for it.
I forgot that she would do that. Like you said, we couldn't stay up late to watch to see if we'd gotten the stuff.
Right.
But she would. And by late,
yes.
Like you said, 10:30.
Yeah.
For whenever there was, whenever the sets would finish. But yeah, to get her, she should come in depending on, or you'd come out the next morning, for breakfast, and you got it or you didn't.
Yeah, because that was one of those sets too. I didn't think I'd ever be able to get.
Yeah.
I have most of the series though now. I'm missing like one or two sets from that I want to eventually complete, but all of those old underwater sets and with the big translucent dome pieces and doors and stuff.
Yeah, I think one of them that you don't have, I think I have, and you may have gotten it since then, but it was just one of the, it was just one of the underwater, submarines. It's all underwater stuff.
I think it's the largest one of the underwater subs that I don't have. I think I have all the rest of the little underwater subs, but there's like one larger one that I don't have.
That's the one I have. So that validates my.
That makes sense.
Yeah, my guess. All right,
where'd you get that from? That would have had to been like an eBay or something.
That was in those 14 pounds of pieces or sets that I got. Okay, so I finished Jabba's Palace. I'm gonna go and start on the other little ones. How are you progressing? Because honestly, I haven't actually been seeing what you've been building.
I'm almost done. I probably have 5 or 10 minutes left.
Okay, well that works out well. I have this extra piece, and I remember that it comes with this extra 1x10 that goes behind it, but I can't remember why, because I don't even see it in the directions. But I remember it being there as a kid. I can't remember why. I'm gonna have to look a little closer after I finish building these.
I know I always, when I'm doing these speed builds, half the time I end up with like a small pile of pieces left over at the end. And then I'll go back and figure out like where I missed something. Growing up without the instruction manuals that told you this group of pieces went here.
Yeah.
I still have a hard time reading instructions the same way. Like I still I'm like, if I see it on the page, I put it on there. I don't look at the little grouping in the corner that tells me these are the 8 pieces you need.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, because they've been like that for so long now, but I still am like, okay, I can see what needs to go here. So I'm just going to, even though they're telling you exactly what needs to go where, I still don't read them like that.
I say the one set that needed that feature, but like where it told you what pieces were needed on each one, but didn't have it, was the sand crawler. Oh my God. I love that set.
Yikes.
The original 2005 sand crawler, because it's like 1,300 pieces probably, and 1,200 of them are brown, and the other 100 are dark gray. So all the pieces just meshed, like they all just look the same, and they weren't doing the thing where even the bags were numbered. So you literally had 1,300 brown and dark gray pieces all sitting together at the same time. I remember how excited I was to get that set, but how hard it was to build because all the pieces, ran together.
You said that was from 2005?
I think it was 04 was when it came out, and then it ran through probably 2 years or so.
So is it reddish brown or original brown?
Should be reddish brown. I think it's
Reddish
04.
brown. I've heard some horror stories. I guess it's about that one. I knew it was a Sandcrawler. I didn't know it's the original one, where people said, because reddish brown snaps really easily from that era.
Yeah.
And they're like, once you build it, don't take it apart because it'll just, it'll destroy it basically.
Oh.
So,
well, I've taken it apart and rebuilt it probably 3 times, and
oh, well, that's good.
knock on this fake wood, I've not had any issues with it. It falls apart. It's not the best design, and I love the set, but like the design of some of the remakes that they've done have been really good from what I can tell. Obviously, I only own that version.
Only have the original.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was joking. So I'm doing Jabba's palace here, and I was going to bring it up later, but since I already have it, I was bringing up the Boba Fett's, the one we picked up at Costco the other day. So Boba's palace, which is based on the same one, but then there was one in the middle that I didn't get. I just didn't really want it. So I have 2 of the 3 Jabba-ish castles, or huts, I guess is what it is.
Right.
All right.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I've built one of the side pieces.
I think I'm about done. I've got my handful of miscellaneous bricks that I have to figure out where they go.
Oh no. Goodness, that's a lot.
Well, some of them are just like accessory pieces. A scorpion, a map.
The essentials. Those are all the essentials: a scorpion, a spider, snake,
a hatchet.
A hatchet. That's one of the things I loved about the adventures, and I know the Wild West ones did it too. You just got all these cool accessories, and I know some of the sets today that they do that, where they add a bunch of accessories. I just liked getting swords and just magnifying glasses, just little things for the characters, for the minifigures to have.
You were obsessed with the blasters growing up. You used to have you didn't keep the blasters with the sets. You always had a horde of blasters from the Star Wars sets.
I would say
all together.
The reason I probably did that was because when Jake and I would hang out, we would, when the way that we would play when we would do Star Wars stuff,
right.
it was just easy to have a bunch at our disposal, so we didn't have to go looking for them. It was just, we'd pick the people we'd wanted, the minifigures we wanted, the sets we wanted, and then go to town. I actually don't remember the last time I built this set. It's actually been really fun to rebuild, because I don't remember the last time I would have. I don't have any record of when I rebuilt any of these sets. I just come and go as you please. But this has been really fun to rebuild.
I wish Lego would do more fabric pieces again. This tent is so cute. We need more tents.
I always thought it was cute too. That was the word I used to describe it. It was a cute little tent.
People make fun of me all the time in the comments I'll be like, look at how adorable this little evil villain is.
Well, I remember.
Oh, yes, the murderer is so cute.
Yeah, the vicious killer. In the Lego Racers video game, they have that black tent, and it was so weird to actually get one, because that wasn't the first tent that I got, was the black one. I think the first one I got was maybe an Extreme Adventurers set, or one of the Indiana Jones sets. But in the game, if you ran into it, that thing was rock solid. You couldn't run through it. Back then, this is a game from the late 90s. It was just it was like running into a wall of cinder blocks. So it was so weird to get one in person. It's just this nice little fabricy, not a rock hard wall.
I was just looking to see what this set is going for now.
You
want to take a guess?
Used 130.
Dang, you're good. This one, the cheapest one, which says incomplete, 91%. I want to know where they got the 1% from.
Yeah. How much?
It's 120.
Oh wow. So
Yes.
it'd be even more than that after you get the 9% remaining pieces. Like if it's 350 pieces, did they do the math of like, well, we're missing 13 pieces, so it's only 91% complete.
Right. I don't know. Yeah, it says it's 316 pieces. So that's, yeah, the first complete one is 169.
I definitely did not pay anything close to that.
Yeah, I think because I got this one for a really good deal from someone, and I think it was like $60. And I was like,
oh wow,
for the,
that's
you know,
really
I bought
good.
it by itself. I was really upset. This woman, you know, like I bought it and she sent it to me, and it was actually, she forgot to put the little sarcophagus piece in there with the mummy. So she sent it to me, which was awesome. And then she messaged me and she was like, I also have the Amazon Ancient Ruins if you're interested. And I was like, yes,
You said
I am.
yes.
Please let me know. I will buy it from you. And then I never heard from her again. I was like, you Lego tease.
Yeah, that's just mean.
Yeah. So I don't know if she figured out she had sold this one to me for too cheap or what happened, but
or you were too eager and said, yeah, I'll take it right now.
Yes. I tried to play it cool, but maybe I was too eager.
That's one of the things is like you don't want to like let be too crazy to where they're like, well, why does she want it that bad?
Right.
Have them overthink it. I had that happen with something I bought on the marketplace. It was supposed to be, it was one of the newer sets from, it's one of the rocket, like one of the city space sets. It was really cool. It was like originally 150 and they were selling it for 80 new in box. And I was a little skeptical, but I'm like, I'm going to roll the dice. So they accidentally sent me one of the Arctic looking ones. And she was like, oh, sorry, I sent you the wrong one, blah, blah, blah. If you want, you can ship that back and I'll send you the other one, or you can keep it for like $40. It was originally an $80 set. So I was like, wasn't planning on getting this one, but for, $40, I'll gladly do that.
Right. Yeah. I wonder, that's weird to send a whole different set.
It was a weird situation, but like her sister was selling them on her behalf because she had hurt her back or something. It was more information. She gave me more information than I needed to know. I'm like, just send me the right set. Not a big deal. Yeah. I'm not gonna ding your Facebook Marketplace. Just send me the right thing.
Oh, so you did shipping via Facebook Marketplace? Oh, okay, gotcha.
And that was the first time I'd ever done that. So I was just like, it's worth the risk, even though it was an $80 risk. I really wanted the set, but I wasn't paying $150 for it. Yeah,
that looks awesome. What's the set number for that set?
For the main one, it's 4475. It was originally
3 sets.
It's 3 sets, yeah. So you can't build one without the others. Like it would look weird if you didn't have the size. It doesn't even make sense. It was a weird approach that they did that, where it was like 3 sets that went together, but the side pieces I think were only, I don't know how much they cost. 4475. Let's see, because I actually don't know how much it cost, but it was only 44-ish pieces, so it couldn't have been that much. Oh, new, it's like $100 for the small one.
Yikes. Well, like
it was $7. They were each $7 on the side.
Wow. The early Harry Potter sets were the same way, where they stacked and they all went together. So yeah. I think that was just like a thing of the era, was like, instead of selling one gigantic set, you could buy individual pieces, which I kind of actually like, because then it's like, I could put out $7. Like a child has $7.
Yeah.
But the child might not have $100 for this big monstrous set. So
foolish child.
Right. I know. Oh, I bet it's the minifigures for the little ones that make it so expensive.
Probably, yeah, because it's got the original Boba in the one on this side, on, I guess, technically on the left, but on my right, and then probably Bib Fortuna, which is one of the silliest names ever. Bib Fortuna. What kind of?
I love it.
Like, what are they doing with that? But it was probably both of them that raised the price of it.
Yeah. What's the set number for the big one?
4470, 4480 is the big one, which was originally $30.
That was a $30 set?
Yeah. It was a $30 set with like 200 and 30 pieces. It wasn't that many pieces, but again, it's a bunch of big pieces and Jabba, you know.
Yeah, I want to know what it's going for now. Oof, it's insane.
How much?
Star Wars is just. I looked up the Slave one. I guess is that the one you have that has like blue, the purpley blue.
Yeah, so that's Django's Slave one. I do have that, but that one took me years to get.
I saw it sell the other day for $475.
New or used?
Used. And Django is going for like $275 by himself.
Django has always been ridiculous. Like because they for years he was only in that set. So that set came out in 2002 when episode 2 came out. That's the only movie he's in. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen a 20-year-old movie. But he had only come in that set, and like that's the older style, obviously. Like he looks the same as Boba does. It's the old style of build. And then they didn't put him in a set again for, I think 2018 was the first time he showed back up again. It was a 15-year gap between him being in any set. So his value went up significantly, and people would prefer the old, you know, the original version.
Right.
But yeah, that one is crazy expensive. Django probably, besides Boba with the Cloud City Boba, is probably the most expensive Lego figure, I imagine.
Yeah, some of the other Cloud City minifigures are going for a lot more than I thought. Like, I can't remember which one it was now, but one of them was going for like $800.
It may have been Lando, the guy with the cape.
It might be. And then Boba is going for $2,000. I don't know if you knew that.
God.
Yeah, but $2,000. So
you're saying if I ever am having money trouble, that he's the first one to
walking
pull
the
from.
plank.
Yeah. Like, oh, I could use a new car. I could sell a Lego minifigure. I still wouldn't, but
yeah. It looks like the palace, if you want all the minifigures, is going for like $180. People are trying to sell it with the minifigures still for $100, and I'm like, there can't be that many pieces in there that make it worth that much without the minifigures. So.
Maybe the green translucent frog. Maybe he's the part that's making it so bad. But yeah, no, I mean, all the other pieces are normal looking pieces. It's not like there's specialty pieces besides Jabba.
Right.
And if he's not included, then yeah, it's kind of defeats the point.
Well, cool.
But yeah, so I mean, but between these sets, there's how many? 1, 2, if you count him as a minifigure, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 9 to 10 people between this, including Jabba, depending on how you look at it. Some people count droids as, you know, like personally, I would consider this Gonk droid a minifigure. Not everyone would. If you played the Lego Star Wars game, he was a playable figure. So I think if we're basing it on that logic, then yes, he's a playable figure. So you're looking at 10-ish people, including Jabba. I mean, it was only $44 originally for all of this.
That's crazy.
And now it'd be that.
Like $240.
Yeah, for a 19-year-old set, it's I think it holds up really well.
Yeah, this set actually comes with, I think, 7 minifigures. So
yeah,
they used to. I feel like Ninjago, I think, does a good job with still putting a lot of minifigures in their sets. But the rest of the themes, I just don't feel like they put as many minifigures in as they used to.
Definitely not Star Wars anymore. Star Wars, it's like it's a $80 set. You get 3 people.
Yeah, that's.
And sometimes they don't even make sense, like why they're with the set.
I don't understand. I mean, minifigures, I don't think they really cost, unless they're costing the like franchises, like you have to pay per minifigure or something, which it could be. I don't know. That would be the only reason I would assume that they're not putting as many in, but maybe there's you know, an actual reason why for Star Wars they don't put as many in. I'm not sure.
I want more. You know, you want to be able to build up armies and Actually, while we're still on, because I also had this set up, because I'd actually just built this the other day, and I figured since I was doing Jabba's palace, I might as well, you know, flex. Not the arms, flex his sail barge, because I just rebuilt that probably about a month ago. Really, I've seen the newer sail barge is really cool, but I always loved this one.
Yeah, the sails on that thing are so I'm obsessed with all things fabric, Lego related. Yeah.
And then the Sarlacc pit, which it's kind of scary, but it was on one of my shelves, and when I was going in there to get the Boba Fett box, I saw it in there. I was like, oh yeah, I can might as well flex them both while we have them built.
I mean, you already have the Pinnacle with Cloud City that I flexed for you. So you might as well show them all off at this point.
I got plenty to show, so
yeah.
We're definitely got to do this again, because this was a ton of fun.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. So I'll see you again in a year and a half or so.
New house by then will be different background, all that good stuff.
Do you have any plans to come back to Instagram and show anything off, or not right now?
Not right now, but
I'll get
like Justin Bieber, never say never.
Never say never. Well, thanks for coming on. Since we don't live nearby or anything anymore, so it's nice to still get to build. It feels like the good old days of childhood. So
next time we'll have to like drink a beer, like you have a glass of wine. Well, like alcohol and building Legos. That's like the adult version of
yes,
building Legos, virtually with adult beverages at the same time.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That sounds fun.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. And if you'd like for my brother Christopher to join us on the channel again, comment below. And I'll see you next time.